Welcome, wanderers. Join me as we take a walk through the changing landscapes of Palmetto State Park in Texas. Located between the towns of Luling and Gonzales, the park takes up 270 acres of Gonzales County. Unfortunately, the Ottine Trail was closed due to flood damage, so we'll walk every trail that is open and hopefully not bump into Swamp Thing, who is rumored to meander the area. There are dedicated parking spots, and if you can get out of your vehicle, it's just a short hike to the campsites. Well, I did say short hike. Crossing the San Marcos River, this bridge joins the tent camping area to the campgrounds with electric and water. There'll be plenty of opportunities on the trail to take a peek at the San Marcos River as it tends to serpentine throughout the park. The pavilion here was built in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, an organization put together by FDR as part of the New Deal. These conservation efforts were a way to battle high unemployment during the Great Depression. The pavilion has a very small trail that leads nowhere, but has some beautiful wildflowers and scenery. It's available to rent for events. The park gets its name from the abundance of dwarf palmetto plants that thrive in the tropical-like environment. The swamp is maintained thanks to a layer of rock not far beneath the surface, keeping water from draining deeper into the ground. This swampy and humid environment gives these plants an opportunity to thrive. This water tower is fed from a hydraulic ram pump that collects water and releases it back into the swampland. Since this system requires no electrical source, it is able to run with minimal maintenance. The park has more than just tropical landscapes, as our hike evolved from humid conditions to a pleasant walk through the woods, which offered ample shade to enjoy a break from the summer sun. That looks delicious. Tastes better than it looks. Here we witness a beetle and snail engaging in combat. I'm not sure if they are natural enemies, but this battle took place over an extended amount of time, with the beetle reaching into the shell of the snail and defeating his opponent. A short jaunt from the day-use area through the woods leads to pedestrian river access. The San Marcos River winds through this area and presents the perfect spot to soak your toes. While I was here, plenty of couples took advantage of this serene location, a moment to get away and enjoy the sound of running water. I just disturbed a deer and this giant owl. He came flying towards me on the trail. I don't think he's happy. The owl just continued to watch me. This did not bother me, as I preferred being watched rather than swooped. Turtle just went under the water. I'm 2 seconds late for everything. Thank you for taking this trip with me to Palmetto State Park. I never did bump into the swamp thing, but my understanding is that he frequents the Ottine Trail, which was closed at the time of our visit. Perhaps you will have better luck if you venture out to the park. Let's enjoy the remaining sunlight together and have a wonderful rest of the day. The water is super clear right there. And then just a few feet over, it's a murky mess. I want to know what's going on right here. So it was a pretty simple answer. Mud. The RV park had a tiny library for exchanging books. There were plenty of deer all over the area. Unfortunately, I never caught any of them on video. So here's some ugly pictures. The park also had, before the 70s, mud boils, which would form up from the ground. Now, they went extinct in the 70s, but here's a recreation of what they used to look like. The place was just beautiful. Greenery all over the place. So many palmettos. The millipede showed up in the video, but what wasn't pointed out was that it was already dead when I took the photo. And some kids showed up, about a dozen of them I counted, and they had a watermelon party. And they just ran amok, made a bunch of noise, scared off the fishermen, and this was the results. I woke up to a beautiful sunrise sitting outside of an AutoZone. And the reason I was sitting outside of an AutoZone is that I showed up to the park at 10:30 at night and the bugs were just vicious. So I wound up sleeping in a Buc-ee's parking lot, which was only about 10 minutes up the road. So it was really hot. It was a summer day. The humidity kept building up inside of the car. So I would wake up every 2 hours and start the car to get the air conditioner running. Well, unfortunately, I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning to start the car, and it would not start. So I saw a possum, which you can barely make out here, and got some gentlemen to jump my vehicle at 3 o'clock in the morning so I could go to AutoZone. And this was how I woke up, from the driver's seat of my vehicle. Like I say, it was summertime, so it was well over 100 degrees, and sometimes it was miserable. Oh, and this is delicious.